The storm outside rattled the windows, but inside, a young girl sat in silence, staring at her notebook. The big red X across her test paper made her stomach twist. She had failed again. Her grandmother, sitting nearby, noticed the tears in her eyes. She smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you a story about a girl who was trapped in darkness but found her way to the light. Her name was Helen Keller." The grandmother began. When she was just a baby, she got very sick. When she woke up, the world had changed. She could no longer see. She could no longer hear. The girl gasped. She was deaf and blind? How did she even know what was happening? She didn't, the grandmother said. Imagine waking up one day and suddenly no sound, no light, only silence and shadows. She felt lost, trapped, angry. Helen could not speak, could not understand words, could not tell her family how she felt. She screamed through things hit people. She was like a wild storm, trapped in a body that couldn't express itself. Then one day, a teacher arrived, and Sullivan. Please subscribe to Inspiring Truth TV, and let's keep discovering stories that change lives. And held Helen's small hands and began tracing letters into her palm. Over and over again. C-U-P, W-A-T-R. Helen didn't understand at first. It was just meaningless shapes. But then, something magical happened. One afternoon, water poured over Helen's hand as she felt the cool liquid run between her fingers and spelled W-A-T-R into her palm. And suddenly, like a flash of lightning in the dark, Helen understood. That was the first time she knew that things had names, the grandmother said, her eyes sparkling. Helen became unstoppable. She learned to read, to write, to speak. The girl who was once trapped in silence now had a voice. She wrote books, gave speeches, inspired the world. She met kings and presidents. She showed the world that no obstacle is too big if you have the right mindset. The young girl listening wiped her tears. "So tell me, my dear," the grandmother said, "if Helen Keller could learn to speak without hearing and see without eyes, what can you do if you just don't give up?" The girl took a deep breath, looked at her test again, and smiled. She knew her answer now. The secret of overcoming any challenge is not in what you lack, but in how strong your mind is. With patience, effort, and belief, you can achieve more than you ever imagined. If this story inspired you, imagine how many more powerful lessons you can learn. Subscribe to Inspiring Truth TV, and let's keep discovering stories that change lives. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.